Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Educational Gamer, and we are playing Strategic Command World at War, playing as the Allies. We do want to do the turn for the Western Allies this time around, but before we go ahead and do that, I thought about the Soviet front last time a little bit more, and there's one last thing that I would like to do, and that is take our Mongolian cavalry corps over here and move it up towards Bialystok, where we can attack these bombers. Not to great success, but I do think it will force the Germans to redistribute their forces a little bit more than they otherwise might have to do. So, let's start out with the Norwegian theatre. So we did land in Trondheim a couple of turns ago, and we are pushing onto Oslo from the north. It is snowy, but I do hope that this time around we will make it. So, let's start our attacks over here. Very good attack over there. And then I think the special forces should be able to do it, and well, they are taking some losses, but here we are having captured Oslo, and that is a very, very nice success for us indeed. So that actually means we can withdraw some of our forces. Again, actually I think all of these forces ultimately should be withdrawn from Norway, because, well, you should probably go over here so that you can ultimately take off from Oslo Harbour, and then you guys can go up there and leave via Trondheim, and that should be fine. I think Oslo will surrender. I'm not sure whether we will get Bergen, Kristiansand and Narvik, but yeah, I think it's going to be fine for us right now. Good. Let's look at the rest of the UK. I think there's not that much to do. Of course, we do want to upgrade these tanks. Slightly better ones. That is fine and dandy. Everything else should be okay over here. We do have a cruiser that should be reinforced. We do have these two battleships. And, well, I'm guessing we should take this heavy cruiser back towards Rusint, let's say. And that should be alright. Yeah, not that much more to do on the Norwegian front because everything is very fine and dandy already. I'm guessing we can't take a round over there, so let's use the submarine to scout out a little. So this convoy route, of course, will soon be gone. Ooh, there are some fighters. Not overly unexpected, but... oh. Really? I cannot withdraw from over here? I'm not sure whether... I'm thinking that these guys will probably wreck that submarine, but yeah, that's too bad. Okay, so we could, in theory, also land in Norway. That doesn't look too bad. I mean, The Hague, Amsterdam, potentially. Let's keep that in mind. There's a lot of rain in the UK, so our fighters and bombers and all that can't really do much over here for now. So I think that's fine. Let's bring in our submarines just to refit them. Same with our carriers. They should be reinforced a little bit. And our carrier fleet over here, shall we bring it to the wash? I think that should be alright. And what is your mode actually? Let's set you to mix, because I do think that the Germans could potentially attack us over there. And that wouldn't be altogether too great. This light cruiser, let's bring it to Scarborough Flow, and then I think we'll circle it around. And just having a destroyer over here in the Scarborough is, I think, fine. Good. So, that does deal with that theatre. Let's jump to North Africa, where we've pushed back the Italians quite considerably. So, let's think what else we can do over here. So, yeah, I do think that some tactical bombings over here on Tripoli would be a very good start. We are losing more than I would have had hoped, but we are reducing their readiness and morale and all of that, so that is very good. Let's start out with our tanks. That's unfortunate. We do have more tanks over here. All of you could sort of reach just towards over there. Yeah, and we do need to think about bringing these forces out at some point. Okay, these long-range forces can advance over here. Let's attack the German headquarters. That's good. Okay, and then simply slowly bring up everyone to the front over there. Okay, and now you can't withdraw. Well, you can get over there. So can you. Yes, very good. So that means we can now capture Tripoli, which we are going to do with our long-range forces, and that is indeed very, 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 very good for us, because now we are getting supplies, the Germans don't get any supplies, and that's fine. You over here are in very, very low supply, but we can still attack the Germans. Everyone actually over here is in comparatively low supplies, and that I'm not particularly happy about. Well, these medium bombers could be upgraded, I guess. These... Oh yeah, these guys can be upgraded, at least with long-range aircraft as well, although maybe we want to use them this turn. Let's think about that in a second. These tactical bombers, definitely, I do want them to be longer ranged and better at ground attack. And these fighters, again, better long range is always a very good thing for us, especially as the Americans. We have these heavy bombers, sorry, medium bombers, which also should be upgraded. But although I don't want naval weaponry, I think that's fine. But ground attack, yeah, definitely. Oh, sorry, no, these are medium bombers. These were tactical bombers. That's why there's a little bit of a difference. Right, you are a little bit out of supply, and that is not great. We can use our 101st Airborne Division to land around Palermo, so let's scout out the area just a little bit. So there are troops directly in Palermo. There's no one in Syracuse, and the harbor in Syracuse would be appreciated. We have one group of Marines who are right now ready to land somewhere. And you could land in Syracuse, and that would help us out immensely, I think. So we can start to base things over here. Yeah, okay, let's do it. For apparently suffering some losses, but I don't see too many. So that should be alright. Let's push up a little. Pushing up the front line as well. And then we can bring over our 101st Airborne. Although you'll be pretty much out of supply. And how are these guys looking? They're very much in supply. It's also a national morale objective. Still, the readiness of these airborne forces isn't too bad, so let's do it. Our landing over there, we are suffering some casualties in our readiness. And we're gonna bring in our destroyers over here. And I do think, do we have any other ships? Yeah, we do. We have these heavy cruisers. Let's bring them over here as well, so that we can keep an eye on how things develop. Likewise, these light cruisers should at least reflect a little bit on what's going on over here, so that we have a little bit more of a view of the situation. Good. Battleships. I don't want to risk our battleships too much, but yeah, reinforce our carriers. That's fine. These Indians are fine where they are for now. What's your range actually? Your range would be 7, so could you land from over here in... yeah, very definitely so. So yeah, let's get you up again, I guess. What are you? You're Sudan. Okay, so you need to be withdrawn as well. And then this corps, I think I just moved you in here, so I won't be able to reinforce you. But that's fine. Good. And you know what? We can move up the battleships, I guess. Oh well, I mean, you can also bombard the German troops, so why not do that? Good, let's bring you over there. Let's attack. It's fine. Mechanized forces. Oh, you can attack again, right, because you are mechanized forces. I always keep forgetting that. And the first tank division, can you finish it off? Yes, you can. Very nice. Good stuff. So, finally connected our front lines over there, and that's a very good result for us. Headquarter can move up over here so that it's covering these guys and potentially reinforcing them a little bit. Our carrier over here should, I guess, yeah, you're on fighter patrol. That is very dandy. Let's bring you over there. And speaking of fighters, you cannot move over here. That is unfortunate. And I think you cannot be reinforced right now either, so yeah, we'll have to see about that. Bring in a heavy cruise over there towards this area simply to keep an eye on things, really, and see how they develop. So we also got this 1st Marine Division, which we're going to land over here. Oh, these are Marine tanks? Really? I had not thought that. Okay. It's still a little bit unfortunate that, you know, nothing over here really tells us what these units are typically, so that I dislike a tiny bit. Let's see whether we can bring in more forces, though, to Syracuse. I don't think we can do so now, right? Yeah, just... Oh! There's a German submarine. That is very interesting. I think it should be one of the last German fleet, actually, so that is very, very nice. Although I realize we don't necessarily have the best anti-submarine warfare capabilities over here. And it's diving, but we did do some damage. And we did find it again. But let's continue the hunt. Nice. Very good result. So let's get the British in. Come on. Nice. Very good. Last fleet of the Germans. That does leave one Italian submarine, but I'm very confident that we will be able to tackle that when time is due. Good. So I think we can keep you, but didn't I just see the first Rangers over here somewhere? 2nd Rangers. Let's get you on shore over here, and then we will be able to put you on an amphibious transport later. Meanwhile, we can move up our other forces who are somewhat stuck here in the Mediterranean. Sorry, in the North Atlantic, and bring them to the Mediterranean, of course. And there is that. Good. So, good landing over here, Operation Husky. The landing in North America, sorry, in Sicily, has been successful, and I'm very happy about that. We should also start to transport some of our armies from the UK over here towards... I guess we can move you in here, although I'll need to remind myself that that is there, and that the UK troops should be moved slightly differently, because they are moving towards the UK so that they can land in northern France at some point. Good. Indian tanks, Sudanese headquarters, you should go over there. We want to withdraw from over here. There are very limited amounts of places where we can truly do that. Let's get you back a little bit, maybe likewise for you. And then we can actually operate these tactical bombs from the UK towards the home area, and that should be okay. I'm guessing likewise, didn't we have more bombers? Yeah, but we used you, so that's fine. Good. Excellent. Okay, so let's get over to the fire station theaters. So down here in Java, we are still being pushed back, so we will need to reinforce simply these guys. However, the headquarter unit over here should be attacked. So we are continuing to push against that unit. I'm guessing we can... well, it's not too bad. I'm guessing we can do some attacks over there. We do have another group of medium bombs over here. Your morale is already very, very low. And you don't really have morale. Okay, so maybe that's not required right now. Could move up these troops. Could reinforce them as well. Maybe that's the better choice. So I want to attack Brunei over there. But it is very difficult to do that. So whom have we got? Okay, we've got the British Army. You know what? You should be transported. Let's transport all of these Indians so that they can get to Greece in due time. That's fine. Another Indian. Can I transport you? Well, I could, but you're not close enough to the seas. So, yeah. So how do we get to Brunei? Well, I'm guessing we'll simply need to put some people on amphibious transports. Yeah, let's pick these guys. Don't think you need to be long range. Simple should do. Might take a turn or two, but I think we're gonna be alright. Good. So these guys really can't do anything right now. This supply here is kind of low, so let's not overdo that. This submarine we can bring over there, and that's fine. Just capture that territory. Yeah, not much else really to do for China over here, at the very least. Why can't I move you? Okay, let's put you into that area. These fighters, these bombers, no point really doing that. But what we can do is put our special forces on an amphibious transport over here and just scout out Taiwan. There are some fighters. Taipei itself, though, is not occupied. So, yeah, let's start to do some attacks against their fighters. Mostly to reduce their industrial capacity. So far, so good. Not dramatically good results, but results nonetheless. So, happy about that. Let's then bring our bomber forces from China up to the north again, and I think our fighter forces as well. And that should be alright. Right. The South Africans are fine. These naval bombers can't really do much. These fighters can't really do much. Oh, we can strafe. Okay. And then we have the South Africans. Okay, so you know what? You're going to be transported. And we're going to put you... land you over here. And then you can advance towards that headquarter unit as well. And I think that should be alright. Good. On Papua New Guinea, we are in big trouble. Our first corps over here could be reinforced, but your readiness is extremely low. But your supply is a little bit better than theirs is, so let's take a second to think about this. So we do have a couple of carriers over here. So let's start to strike these guys. Maybe reduce their readiness slightly and morale. And that's fine, and then we can reinforce these guys, and I think they shouldn't break instantly. Yeah, morale is still a big issue here, but still. And we can do more fighter attacks, or carrier attacks. And that's fine. Good. We also have these Canadians who could either attack over there or a bowl. Or Bougainville. Or this area up here. You know what? I think this is the best choice that we have. Let's land behind enemy lines over here. And that's very good. Okay, can't really do much about these fighters though. Can blockade that harbor as long as we are not the ones occupying it, so that's alright. This light cruiser is fine. These American Marines should be put in transport. And you can move out next turn. We've got more Australians who can land somewhere. How about we work? Okay, that's good. So let's bring you over here. Land in this town. We are suffering some landing casualties, but we are getting the harbor, so I'm happy about that. Are you an army or a corps? A corps. Okay, so fine. I think we are making some progress on Papua New Guinea. Happy about that. I do have some forces kicking around over here, but not much. A little bit more over here though. No, I don't think I can necessarily push up very far over there. Can't upgrade the carrier, but you can fly attacks against these special forces. Surprisingly good attacks even. And this is a national morale objective, so I do have some incentive of taking it. Right, then down here in the Gilbert Islands, to be honest, this by now has ceased to be our most important target. But nevertheless, let's try to do what we can down here to get our Marines to fight these guys. And again, this is also a national morale objective, so I think we should be alright if we manage to strike them hard. I would have hoped that we can do more damage against these troops themselves. I mean, their readiness and morale is extremely low as well. Ooh, but we do need to put these this carrier into port. It's actually very damaged, I didn't quite realize that. Okay. Our Marines are a little bit stuck over here, so let's see what we can do in the next couple of turns over there. Do have a battleship here that needs to be reinforced. Very heavy damage on that. Some troops on the east coast. I don't think we need naval bombers right now. We've got everything covered so far. So I think that's fine for the US actually. So let's place our new unit, the 10th Army. Of course, going to place them in New York. Don't think I can transport you right now. Okay, that's fine. Let's look at research. For the US, it pretty much has exhausted all of its research that it can or should be doing, I think. Heavy bombers, advanced subs are things that we could think about, but I don't think... Oh, we can actually withdraw some spending from ground attack weapons because we can't actually reach a higher level over there, so I think this is alright. AA defenses might be alright, but not quite critical. On the other hand, the US has so many points that we can invest a little bit into that just to increase our position long term over there. So that's fine. Does the UK need anything really? Yes, a lot of things really. But it doesn't quite have the points, I believe, to... Well, infantry weapons are something that very... Yeah, let's save some points. We do want to definitely do some rounds of upgrades for infantry weapons next time. So yeah, I think for the UK that's fine. And that means we simply should be spending a lot of points, as of course China, as it always does, because we have way too many points as China. And we can indeed actually invest a little bit. So let's invest into amphibious warfare. And then that's it, because there's nothing else that we can purchase. So a little bit unfortunate, but fine. And that means we can purchase units. So what do we need as the US? It's kind of ridiculous how many points you get, but I'm not going to complain about that. So let's do a round of rocket artillery, I believe, because that is a very nice demoralization. Should probably give you some AA defenses, I think. Oh, we also got Argentina. Is there anything that we can build? Just headquarters and cores on that, so yeah, not too critical. So yeah, let's build more things as the US then. I think another army might not be the worst. Yeah, let's build the 12th Army. Gonna make it a very good one. And then the 82nd Airborne. I think that's fine. Good. How many points have we got now? Just 300. Yeah, I think we can save these points. Should definitely transport our Polish brigade over here. Because it should really be getting to Europe. How about liberating Europe? Good. So that about does it for our turn for the Western Allies. Next time we are gonna see again whether the Germans will try an early spring offensive. I'm very happy that we did manage to push out a little bit over here. Haven't quite managed to kick the Germans back, of course. Certainly not towards the border, or at least gotten to the border yet. But I think we are making some progress, and that is a very fine and good feeling for me. So I'm very happy about that. But one more thing that we do need to do is look at diplomacy, because we have Argentina has joined the war, so that means some of our investments can be, not purchase units, not actually reports either, diplomacy. We do have some investment potential as the US, and one thing that I would really like to do is get Sweden to be a little bit more on our side. It's not actually that expensive, certainly not for the US, so I think we are good over here. 26. Do you even want to do more? Yes. There we go. So we have about a third chance of influencing Sweden towards our side in every turn, and I do hope that at some point we will swing them over and basically deny these supplies towards the Axis. They don't need to be on our side. I just want to be them a little bit less for the Germans. So that being said, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.